The big council room on Vara Prime was quiet at first. Then a weak signal came through the speakers. It was an SOS. Everyone stopped talking. The message played again, clear but full of fear. "This is the Kalorian fleet. We are under attack. The Vorath Dominion hit us without warning. They destroyed 2 of our colony worlds. Our ships are broken. We need help. Any help. Please." The aliens in the room looked at each other. The Kalorians were traitors. They built nice ships, fast and beautiful, but not made for war. The Vorath were different. They were strong, cruel, and loved to take what was not theirs. Many in the council had lost ships or friends to the Vorath before. No one wanted to fight them. One tall, thin alien with blue skin spoke first. "We can send food and medicine, but ships? No. The Vorath will see it as war." A small, furry creature from another world nodded. "They have already taken 3 systems this year. If we send fighters, they will come for us next." The debate went on for hours. Some wanted to ignore the call. Others felt bad but were too scared. In the end, they agreed on small aid. Supplies dropped from far away. No contact, no risk. Then a new voice cut through the channels. It was short and calm. "Humans heard your SOS. We are coming to help. Hold on if you can." The room went silent again. Humans? Most aliens knew little about them. Humans came from a far system called Sol. Their planet was Earth. Scientists called it a death world. Heavy gravity pulled hard. Storms tore trees from the ground. Animals with sharp teeth and poison lived everywhere. Even the plants could hurt you. Humans survived there anyway. They were tough. But no one thought they had a big fleet or cared much about others. An old diplomat with many eyes turned to his helper. "Humans? Are they serious? They trade sometimes. Small ships. They stay in their area mostly. Why would they answer?" No one had an answer. The council waited. Some laughed quietly. Others worried. What if the humans made things worse? Far away, in the Sol system, Captain John Miller sat on the bridge of his ship, the Endurance. It was a good exploration vessel, strong, fast, with good sensors. John was checking new star maps when the SOS came in. His communications officer, a young woman named Linda Harris, played it for the crew. John listened without moving. When it ended, he stood up. "Send this to Earth Command right now. Full priority." Linda's fingers moved fast on her console. "Done, sir. They will see it in minutes." John looked out the big window. Stars filled the black. He thought about Earth, cold winters, hot deserts, oceans that swallowed ships. Humans learned early. When someone calls for help, you go. You do not wait for perfect plans. The reply from Earth came fast. It was simple. "Captain Miller, mobilize all available ships. Full Armada response. Protect the Kalorians. Show them what Deathworlders can do." John smiled a little. He knew what that meant. Not just his ship, not just a few, the whole fleet. Across human space, things started moving. On Mars, huge shipyards lit up. Workers in suits ran to their posts. Cranes lifted giant metal parts. Ships that were being built for new colonies changed plans. Now they got weapons, big railguns, strong shields, torpedoes that burned hot. In the asteroid belt, old mining stations turned into repair docks. Crews loaded supplies, food, water, spare parts, medical kits, everything humans needed to fight long and hard. Admiral Robert Hayes was in charge. He stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute. It was the biggest ship humans had built. Guns pointed in every direction. Robert was tall, with gray hair and calm eyes. He had seen many hard days on Earth before joining the fleet. His second-in-command, Commander William Carter, walked up. "Sir, fleet status. We have 200 ships ready, more coming in from the outer colonies." Robert nodded. "Good. Tell the captains, no hero games. We go in together, we come out together." William smiled. "The crews are ready, sir. They heard the SOS too. They want to help." Down in engineering, Chief Susan Brooks checked the engines. She was short, but strong. She grew up in a stormy part of Earth. "These reactors will hold," she said to her team. "We built them for worse than space battles." On another ship, Lieutenant Mary Evans tested the guns. She came from a farm where wolves sometimes came too close. "Aim true," she told her gunners. "We protect people who cannot protect themselves." The Armada formed up near Jupiter. Ships lined up in neat rows. Small fighters flew around big carriers. Destroyers moved to the front. It looked like a wall of metal and light. Observers from other species watched with long-range sensors. They saw the numbers. They saw the speed. They whispered to each other. 200? Humans have that many? They move like they have done this before. But they are from a death world. Maybe they are crazy. Back on Vara Prime, the Council got updates. A scout ship sent pictures. The human fleet was real. It was big. It was coming fast. One alien leader stood up. "We did not ask them to come in force. What if the Vorath see this as a threat to everyone?" Another answered, "Too late now. The Deathworlders heard the call. They are answering." In the damaged Kalorian ships, things were bad. The captain, a wise old Kalorian named Lyra Voss, sat in her chair. Her crew looked tired. Many were hurt. Sensors beeped. New signatures appeared on the screen. Many of them. Lyra leaned forward. "What is it?" A young officer stared. "Human ships, Captain. Hundreds. They are here." The crew looked up. Hope came back to their faces. But fear, too. Humans were strangers. Stories said they were strong because their world tried to kill them every day. Lyra spoke softly. "Let us hope they are friends." The human fleet dropped out of warp. Lights flashed across the stars. The Resolute led the way. Admiral Hayes opened a channel. "This is Admiral Robert Hayes of the Human Armada. We heard your SOS. We are here to help." His voice was steady. No anger, no fear, just fact. On the Kalorian bridge, Lyra answered, "Thank you. We did not expect so many." Hayes replied, "On our world, we do not leave people alone when they call. Hold position. We will handle the Vorath." The aliens watched the human ships move into place. They saw the heavy armor. They saw the guns ready. They felt something new. Surprise, maybe respect. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when Deathworlders answered a call for help. The human Armada did not rush in blind. First, they gathered strength. Ships from every corner of Sol space came together like pieces of a big puzzle. On Mars, the red planet's sky glowed with engine fire. The shipyards there were huge. Metal arms lifted giant hulls into place. Workers in thick suits moved fast. They welded plates, ran cables, and loaded missiles. One worker, a man named David Lee, wiped sweat from his face. He had grown up in a dusty town on Earth, where sandstorms could bury houses. Now, he built ships that could face worse than storms. "These hulls are thick," David said to his friend. "Vorath guns will bounce right off." His friend laughed. "Good. We do not like losing friends." Farther out, in the cold dark of the asteroid belt, repair stations hummed. Old mining rigs had turned into busy docks. Ships that once carried rock, now carried weapons. Crews tested engines. They checked shields. They made sure every gun worked perfect. Admiral Robert Hayes watched it all from his flagship, the Resolute. The bridge was quiet, but full of life. Screens showed green lights everywhere. Robert stood with his hands behind his back. He did not shout orders. He spoke calm and clear. "Status report," he said. Commander William Carter stepped forward. 90% of the fleet is ready, sir. The last carriers arrive in 2 hours. We have 212 ships total. Fighters, destroyers, cruisers, and 10 heavy dreadnoughts. Robert nodded. "Supplies?" "Enough for 6 months of hard fighting," William answered. "Food, water, air filters, medical kits. We even packed extra blankets. Some aliens get cold easy." A small smile touched Robert's lips. Humans knew cold. They knew hunger. They knew pain. Earth taught them to prepare. Down in the medical bay, Dr. Patricia King checked her supplies. She had worked in hospitals during big storms back home. People came in hurt, bleeding, freezing. She saved many. If we board Vorath ships, she told her nurses, we treat everyone, enemy or not. That is our way. One nurse, a young man named Kevin Brooks, asked, even the Vorath? Yes, Patricia said. We fight to stop the killing, not to start more. Kevin thought about that. It felt right. In the gunnery sections, teams trained. Lieutenant Mary Evans walked between her crews. She pointed at screens. See that? That is a Vorath's shield pattern. We hit here and here. The railgun will punch through. Her gunners listened close. They came from places like mountains, jungles, deserts. Places where you learn to aim true or die. Now they aimed for something bigger, saving strangers. On the smaller ships, captains talked to their crews. Captain John Miller stood in front of his people on the Endurance. He looked at each face. We got the call, he said. Kalorians are dying. Vorath do not care, but we do. We go in hard. We protect them. We come home safe. Any questions? A woman in the back raised her hand. Her name was Susan Grant. Sir, what if the Vorath are stronger? John met her eyes. Then we fight smarter. We fight harder. We fight like humans. The crew cheered. Not loud, not wild, just strong. The fleet formed up near Jupiter. The gas giant filled the sky with red and orange bands. Ships moved into lines. Big ones in the center, fast ones on the sides. Fighters swarmed like angry bees. From far away, alien scouts watched. They sent pictures back to Vara Prime. The council room filled with gasps. So many, one alien whispered. And they move as one, another said. A third shook his head. Deathworlders, their world is poison and ice and fire. Maybe that is why they do not fear. In the Kalorian fleet, hope grew thin. Power failed in sections. Lights dimmed. Air smelled bad. Captain Lyra Voss sat in her chair. Her skin was pale. One arm was bandaged. Her first officer came up. Captain, sensors show more signatures. Human ships. They are close. Lyra looked at the screen. Dots appeared. Many dots. How many? Over 200, Captain, and they are big. Lyra closed her eyes for a second. Then she opened them. Open a channel. Let them know we are still here. The message went out weak but clear. This is Captain Lyra Voss of the Kalorian Defense Fleet. We are damaged. We wait for you. Thank you. On the Resolute, Admiral Hayes heard it. He answered himself. Captain Voss, this is Admiral Hayes. Hold tight. We are almost there. Help is coming. Lyra smiled for the first time in days. They sound sure. Her crew looked at each other. Some cried quietly. Hope hurt after so much fear. The human fleet jumped, not all at once, in groups. First the scouts, then the fast destroyers, then the heavy ships. The Resolute went last with its guards. Space bent around them. Stars stretched, then snapped back. The Armada appeared near the Kalorian position. Vorath raiders were there too. Their ships were sharp and black. They circled like wolves around wounded deer. They fired beams that cut metal. Kalorian shields flickered and died. But now humans were here. Admiral Hayes gave one order. All ships, weapons free. Protect the Kalorians. Drive the Vorath back. Guns roared. Not loud in space, but light flashed bright. Railguns shot metal fast as bullets from hell. They hit Vorath's shields. Cracks appeared, then holes, then explosions. Torpedoes flew in lines. They glowed blue. When they hit, fireballs bloomed silent and huge. Vorath's ships turned. Some tried to fight, others ran. On the Endurance, Captain John Miller watched his screens. Target the lead cruiser, full salvo. His gunners fired. The ship shook a little. The Vorath cruiser broke in half. Pieces spun away. John spoke on open channel. Vorath forces, this is humanity. Leave now or we finish this. Some Voroth laughed over the comms. Primitives, you think you scare us? Then their laughter stopped. A human dreadnought fired. The laughing ship vanished in white light. The Kalorians watched. Their broken ships floated quiet. Crews stared at the battle. One young Kalorian said, "They fight like they were born for it." Lyra Voss answered soft, "Maybe they were. Their world never let them rest." The human armada pushed forward. They did not stop. They did not hesitate. Every ship moved like it knew the next step. Alien observers far away sent more messages. The Deathworlders are not just here. They are winning. Back on Earth, people watched feeds. Families in small homes, workers in factories, kids in schools. They saw their fleet. They felt proud. One old woman said to her grandson, "See that? When someone calls, we answer." "Always." The boy nodded. "Like you taught me, Grandma." The Armada kept moving. The galaxy started to notice. Not just the Kalorians. Not just the Vorath. Everyone. The Deathworlders had heard the SOS, and they brought everything they had. The human fleet appeared like a storm of light. One moment, the space around the Kalorian ships was empty, except for the circling Voroth raiders. The next moment, human ships filled every direction. The Resolute led them all. Its huge shape blocked stars. Smaller ships spread out fast. They moved smooth and sure. Voroth commanders saw the new arrivals. At first, they did not worry. Humans were new. Humans came from one small system. Voroth ships were faster. Their weapons cut deep. They laughed on their bridges. "Primitives," one Voroth captain said. "We will crush them like the others." Then the first shots came. Human railguns fired. Long streaks of metal flew so fast they looked like lines of white fire. They hit Voroth shields. The shields glowed bright blue, then cracked. Pieces broke off. A second volley followed. This time the shields failed. Metal tore into hulls. Sparks flew inside Voroth ships. Alarms screamed. A big Voroth cruiser turned to fight. It fired its main beam. The beam hit a human destroyer. The destroyer shook hard. Armor plates bent, but the ship did not break. It fired back. Torpedoes raced out. They hit the cruiser in the engines. Fire bloomed silent. The cruiser spun slow. Then it split open. Captain John Miller watched from the Endurance. His voice stayed calm. "Target their command ships. Do not let them run." His gunners worked fast. Screens showed targets. Fingers pressed buttons. Guns spoke again. Another Voroth ship exploded in white light. On the Kalorian bridge, Captain Lyra Voss stared at her screens. Her crew stood quiet. They had been ready to die. Now they saw something they never expected. One officer whispered, "They are winning, in minutes." Lyra nodded slow. "They fight different." No pause. A human voice came over the open channel. It was Admiral Robert Hayes. "Vorath forces, this is the human armada. You attacked peaceful ships. You killed civilians. Leave this area now, or we will end your fleet here." Some Vorath ships turned to run. Others kept fighting. A group of fast raiders dove toward the Kalorian survivors. They wanted one last kill. Human fighters met them. Small, quick ships with sharp pilots. Lieutenant Mary Evans led one squadron. She flew tight. "Stay close," she said. "Hit and pull back." Her fighters danced. They fired missiles. Vorath raiders broke apart. One tried to ram a Kalorian ship. Mary's fighter cut in front. She fired point blank. The raider burst into pieces. Metal rained quiet in space. The battle lasted less than 30 minutes. When it ended, most Vorath ships were gone. Some floated broken. A few tried to jump away. Human scouts followed. They did not let many escape. Admiral Hayes opened another channel, this time to the Kalorians. "Captain Voss, this is Admiral Hayes. The area is clear. We will send teams to help your wounded. Stand by." Lyra answered with a tired voice. "We thank you. We did not think anyone would come like this." Robert's reply was simple. We heard the call. That is enough. Human boarding teams moved out. They wore thick suits. The suits had extra armor. They carried tools and guns, but most carried medical kits. One team landed on a big Kalorian cruiser. The airlock opened slow. Inside, Kalorian crew waited. They looked weak. Some sat on the floor. Others leaned on walls. A human medic named Kevin Brooks stepped forward first. He raised empty hands. "We are here to help. No tricks." The Kalorians stared. Humans looked strange to them. Tall, strong, faces calm even after battle. Kevin knelt by a hurt Kalorian. The alien had a bad burn on one arm. Kevin opened his kit. He cleaned the wound gentle. Then he put medicine. The Kalorian hissed in pain, but did not pull away. "You are not afraid of us?" the Kalorian asked. Kevin smiled small. "I grew up where bears live, snakes too, storms that break houses. This is just another day." Other humans worked fast. Engineers fixed broken power lines. They brought portable generators. Lights came back on. Air got clean again. Captain John Miller led a team to the Kalorian command ship. He met Lyra Voss face to face. She stood straight, even though she was hurt. "You saved us," she said. John shook his head. "We helped. You held on. That took strength." Lyra looked at him long. "Your people, you fight like the world trained you to lose nothing." John thought of Earth. Hurricanes, earthquakes, wars long ago, animals that hunted at night. "Our world does not forgive mistakes," he said, "so we do not make many." News spread fast. Alien sensors caught every moment. Pictures went to Vara Prime, to other worlds, to trade stations. Screens showed human ships firing, human teams helping, human voices calm on open channels. In the council room on Vara Prime, aliens watched in silence. One tall diplomat spoke first. "They did not ask for thanks, they just acted." Another said, "Look at their armor, thick, heavy, made for worlds that hurt." A small alien with feathers added, "They took hits that would kill our ships, and kept going." The room filled with talk. Some were scared. Humans were strong, too strong. Others felt hope. For the first time in years, the Vorath looked weak. On a Vorath command station far away, leaders watched the same feeds. Their faces were hard. One slammed a fist on the table. "How?" he asked. "How do primitives do this?" His officer answered quiet. "Their world is called a death world. Gravity twice ours. Air full of poison sometimes. Beasts bigger than our ships. They grew up fighting to live. We grew up fighting to take." The leader stared at the screen. A human ship took a direct hit. It smoked, but it turned and fired back. The Vorath ship died. The leader sat down slow. "We woke something we did not understand." Back in the battle area, human ships stayed. They did not leave. Engineers worked on Kalorian hulls. They welded plates. They fixed drives. Medical teams moved from ship to ship. Admiral Hayes walked through a repaired corridor on a Kalorian vessel. Kalorian children peeked from doors. They looked at him with big eyes. One small child came close. "Are you really from a bad world?" Robert knelt. "Yes, but it made us strong, so we can help others." The child smiled shy. "Thank you." Robert stood. He looked at his officers. "We stay until they are safe. Then we see what comes next." Word kept spreading. Other worlds heard. Some sent messages. Quiet ones. Careful ones. "Is it true? The Deathworlders came?" "Yes, and they won." The galaxy started to change. Not big yet, but small, like the first wind before a storm. Humans did not brag. They did not demand anything. They just did what they always did. They answered the call. The battle ended, but the human ships did not leave. They stayed close to the Kalorian fleet, like guards around a hurt family. Repair teams worked day and night. Lights from welding tools flashed across dark hulls. Human engineers climbed into broken sections. They pulled out damaged wires. They put in new parts. They made sure every ship could fly again. Chief Engineer Susan Brooks led one team on the biggest Kalorian cruiser. She was covered in grease. Her hands moved fast. She spoke to a Kalorian technician who watched her work. "Your drive core is cracked," Susan said. "We can patch it. It will hold long enough to reach a safe port." The technician blinked his many eyes. "You fix things so quick. Our own people would take weeks." Susan wiped her face. "On Earth, things break all the time. Storms, floods, machines fail in the cold. We learn to fix fast, or we die." The technician looked at her tools, simple but strong. "Your world sounds hard." Susan smiled a little. "It is, but it makes us good at this." Medical teams moved between ships too. Dr. Patricia King set up a small hospital in a quiet bay on the Resolute. She treated Kalorian burns, broken bones, and breathing problems from bad air. One Kalorian child came to her with a cut leg. The child was scared. Patricia knelt low. "It will hurt a bit," she said soft, "but then it will feel better." She cleaned the cut. She put stitches. The child held tight to her mother's hand, but did not cry loud. When it was done, Patricia gave the child a small bandage with a smiling face drawn on it. The mother watched. "You are kind to strangers." Patricia stood up. "On our world, we help anyone who needs it, stranger or not." Word of the humans spread even more. Other worlds sent scouts. Small ships came close, but stayed far enough to watch. They saw humans carry supplies. They saw humans laugh with Kalorians. They saw humans work without rest. A message came to the Resolute. It was from a small planet called Neris. The Neris people were peaceful farmers. Vorath raiders had taken their outer stations. Now they hid and waited. The message was short. "We see what you did for the Kalorians. We are under attack too. Please, if you can hear us." Admiral Robert Hayes read it on the bridge. Commander William Carter stood next to him. "Sir?" William asked. Robert looked at the star map. "Split the fleet. Send one group to Neris. The rest stay here until the Kalorians are safe." William nodded. "Which ships?" "Take the Endurance, and 40 others. Captain Miller will lead." John Miller got the orders soon after. He gathered his crew. "We have another call," he said. "Same enemy, same need. We go." The crew did not complain. They checked weapons. They loaded extra fuel. They moved like they had done it many times. The group jumped away. When they arrived at Neris space, they found Vorath ships bombing farms from orbit. Human ships came in fast. Railguns spoke. Torpedoes flew. Vorath raiders turned to fight, but broke quick. In less than an hour, the sky was clear again. Neris leaders sent thanks. They sent food, too. Strange fruits and grains. Humans tried them. Some tasted good. Some did not. But they ate anyway and smiled. More calls came. A mining colony on a gas moon. A trade station near a black hole. A passenger ship lost in deep space. Each time, humans answered. Fleets split. Ships moved. They fought. They helped. They left when the danger was gone. Their leaders met in dark rooms. Maps showed red marks. Lost ships, lost bases. One general spoke angry. "They are everywhere. How do so few ships cover so much?" Another answered. "They do not sleep. They do not wait for orders from far away. They act fast." A third said quiet. "Their world made them this way. Every human knows how to survive. Every human knows how to fight." The Vorath tried bigger attacks. They sent whole fleets to one place. They wanted to crush the humans in open battle. It happened near a dead star called Corva. Vorath brought 300 ships. Humans brought 150. The odds looked bad. But humans used tricks. They hid small groups in asteroid fields. They used fake signals to pull Vorath ships apart. When the Vorath charged, humans hit from sides and behind. Lieutenant Mary Evans flew her fighter in the front line. She dodged beams, she fired missiles. Her voice stayed calm on comms. Keep them split, do not let them group. Her squadron danced through the fight. Vorath ships exploded, one after another. Human dreadnoughts pushed forward slow but sure. Their guns never stopped. The battle lasted 2 days. At the end, Vorath ships ran or died. Humans lost 20 ships. Vorath lost almost all. News reached Vara Prime. The council room was full. Aliens from many species sat quiet. One leader stood. The Vorath are breaking. Their attacks slow. Their ships hide. Another said, the humans do not conquer. They defend. They repair. They feed the hungry. A third added, they answer every call, no matter how small. Elizabeth Thompson was the human diplomat with the fleet. She went to Vara Prime. She met the council. She spoke simple. We do not want your land. We do not want your power. We want peace. When someone cries for help, we go. That is all. The aliens listened. Some still feared humans. Others started to trust. On the Resolute, Admiral Hayes got a message from Earth. It was from the High Command. Keep helping, but watch. The galaxy changes because of us now. Robert looked out at the stars. He thought of home. Blue oceans, green forests, cities full of people who never gave up. He spoke soft to himself. We just do what we always did. The Kalorians finished repairs. Their ships looked new again. Captain Lyra Voss came to the Resolute to say goodbye. She stood with Admiral Hayes. You gave us more than ships. You gave us hope. Robert answered. You held on. That gave us time. Lyra looked at the human crew around them. Strong faces, tired eyes, kind smiles. Your people are strange, she said. You come from a world that tries to kill you every day, yet you help strangers without asking for anything. Robert thought for a moment. Maybe because our world is hard, we know what it feels like to need help, so we give it. Lyra bowed low. The galaxy will remember this. She left with her fleet. Human ships watched them go safe. But more calls kept coming. Small ones, big ones. Humans kept answering. The Vorath pulled back. Their empire started to crack. Other species watched humans with new eyes. Some called them heroes. Some called them dangerous. Most just called them Deathworlders. And the Deathworlders kept working, quiet, steady, like always. The tide turned, not with loud words, not with big demands. It turned because humans heard the cries. Months passed after the first big fight. The Vorath Dominion kept losing ground. Their ships hid in dark corners. Their leaders argued in closed rooms. They could not stop the humans. Every time they attacked a weak world, human ships appeared fast. Every time they tried to take something, humans pushed back hard. The empire that once scared everyone now looked small. One day a message came to Vara Prime. It was from the Vorath High Command. They asked for peace talks. No tricks, no demands, just stop the fighting. The council room filled up quick. Aliens from many species sat in their seats. They whispered. Some smiled. Some looked worried. Humans had changed everything. Now the galaxy waited to see what humans would do. Admiral Robert Hayes received the message on the Resolute. He read it slow. Then he called his officers. They want to talk, he said. Commander William Carter crossed his arms. Do we trust them? Robert thought for a moment. We do not trust easy, but we talk. That is how we end wars. Captain John Miller was there too. He had come from another rescue mission. His ship still had fresh repair marks. I say we go, John said. But we go strong. Show them we mean peace, but we are ready if they lie. Robert nodded. Agreed. We take the fleet. Not all. Enough to remind them. The human delegation prepared. Admiral Hayes led it. Captain John Miller came with him. Commander William Carter stayed to watch the fleet. Lieutenant Mary Evans joined as security. Dr. Patricia King went too, in case talks turned bad and people got hurt. They chose a neutral place, an old station near a quiet star. No weapons allowed inside, but human ships waited close outside. The Vorath came in small numbers. Their leader was tall and thin with dark scales. His name was Kor, Vex. His eyes moved fast. The meeting room was round, a big table in the middle. Humans sat on one side, Vorath on the other. Aliens from the council watched on screens from far away. Kor Vex spoke first. His voice was low. "We lost many ships, many worlds. We cannot fight you forever." Robert Hayes looked straight at him. "You started this. You attacked peaceful people. You burned colonies. Why should we stop now?" Kor lowered his head a little. "We thought no one would stand against us. We were wrong. Your people, your Deathworlders, you do not break." John Miller leaned forward. "We do not want your space. We do not want your power. We want the killing to stop." Kor looked around the table. "What do you ask?" Robert answered clear. "No more attacks. Give back what you took. Help rebuild what you broke. And never touch the weak again." The Vorath leader was quiet for a long time. Then he spoke. "We agree. We sign today." Papers were brought. Words were simple. No tricks. Both sides signed. Hands touched for the first time. Human skin, Vorath scales. It felt strange but real. News spread like fire. Screens on every world showed the signing. Aliens cheered in streets. Some cried. The big fear was gone. On Vara Prime, the council called a big meeting. Every species sent someone. The room was full. Lights shone bright. A Kalorian elder stood up. It was Lyra Voss. She looked stronger now. Her wounds were healed. "We sent an SOS," she said. "We thought no one would come. Or if they came, they would want something. But the Deathworlders heard us. They came with ships and hearts. They fought for us. They gave us hope." She turned to the human side of the room. Robert Hayes, John Miller, and others stood there quiet. "Because of you," Lyra said, "the galaxy breathes free again." People clapped. Not polite claps, loud ones, happy ones. An old alien with feathers spoke next. "Humans did not ask to rule. They did not take crowns. They just helped. That is new. That is good." A small furry diplomat added, "Their world is hard. It makes hard people, but hard in a way that protects, not hurts." Robert Hayes stood up when it was his turn. He did not like long speeches. He spoke short. "We come from Earth," he said. "Our planet tries to kill us every day. Rain that floods, winds that break, animals that hunt, heat, cold. We learned one thing. When someone needs help, you give it. You do not wait. You do not ask what you get back. You just go." He looked at the crowd. "We will keep doing that. If you call, we will answer. Not for power, for what is right." The room went quiet. Then it filled with sound again. Claps, cheers. Some aliens stood. After the meeting, people talked outside. Humans mixed with others. They shared food. They told stories. Kalorians showed pictures of their fixed worlds. Neris people brought fruits. Humans tried them and laughed when some tasted bad. Captain John Miller walked with Lyra Voss. "You changed us too," she said. John looked surprised. "How?" "You showed us we are not alone," Lyra answered. "We thought the galaxy was cold. Now we know there are people who care." John smiled small. "Good. That is how it should be." Far away on Earth, people watched the news. Kids pointed at screens. Old people wiped eyes. One father said to his son, "See that? That is what we do." The boy nodded. "When someone needs us, we go." The father put a hand on his shoulder. "Always." The Armada came home slow. Not all at once. Some ships stayed to help rebuild. Others patrolled quiet space. But most returned to Sol. They landed on Mars, on Earth, on stations in the belt. People met them with flags, with food, with hugs. Crews walked down ramps tired but proud. Admiral Robert Hayes stepped onto Earth's soil. He breathed deep. The air smelled of grass and sea. He looked at the sky, blue, peaceful. A reporter came close. "Admiral, what do you say to the galaxy now?" Robert thought. Then he spoke simple. "We heard the SOS. We answered. That is all." The reporter smiled. "And if another call comes?" Robert looked at the horizon. "We will answer again." Years later, the story became legend. Kids learned it in school. Traders told it in bars. Explorers whispered it in deep space. They called it many things. The day the Deathworlders came. The Armada that shocked the stars. But most just said the short version. Deathworlders heard the SOS. And their Armada shocked the galaxy. No one forgot. No one ever would. When the call came, humans listened.